Since yesterday I actually ran through the start of the game again. Back to where I was before. I just did that because I didn't want my god unconscious body being found in the first level. Because I actually had a thought about it and figured out exactly which one would have been spotted. Mostly because there was only one place where I had a single guard hidden.
Hello, Corvo. Your life has taken a turn, has it not? The Empress is dead. Her precious daughter Emily is lost somewhere in the city, and you will play a pivotal role in the days to come. For this, I have chosen you and drawn you into the void. I am the outsider, and this is my mark. There are forces in the world and beyond the world, great forces that men call magic. And now, these forces will serve your will. Use this newfound power, my gift to you. Come find me.
Okay, that's fine. Really? Here we can go off. Really? Ugh, fine. There's no way to shut up the controller. You cannot save her. You cannot save her. You cannot save her, 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 you cannot save her. You only need to say it once. Corvo, I'm very sad. They say that you're dead like Mother, but I'm going to put this note in a bottle and throw it into the river, because I do not believe them. Living here is very strange. I do not like it, so please come for me if you can. Really? Nothing there.
Days that follow, your trials will be great, Corvo. Seek the ancient runes bearing my mark in the lonely places of your world, and at shrines raised in my name. These runes will grant you powers beyond those of other men. To help you find these runes, I give you this, the heart of a living thing, molded by my hands. With this heart, you will hear many secrets, and it will guide you toward my runes, no matter how they may be hidden. Listen to the heart now, and find another rune. Dear God, why are you Seriously, can I turn that off? Brightness. God, let me.
Want sound coming through the controller. Want it coming through the TV. Like it should.
How you use what I have given you falls upon you, as it has to the others before you. And now I return you to your world, but know that I will be watching with great interest.
Why is... Excerpts from the personal memoirs of Hiram Burroughs, dated several years earlier. This is the 4th day, month of high cold. Progress continues on the suppression of gang activity in the distillery district, but more slowly than I'd expected. The ruffians operating there have been cunning, I'll grant them that, but it's only a matter of time. I'll see their leaders flogged in public and sent beneath the royal executioner's blade. If I had my way, that mute bastard would be working night and day, removing the heads that needed removing. Internally, the Empress does not seem pleased with my investigations. It seems that it is beyond her thinking, against her very nature as a trusting person, to believe that traitors move among us. But I know they do. They must. No. Jessamine would rather spend her time with the Royal Protector. At least he's likely to stop any immediate threat to her safety, but a strong arm is not what's needed against those who would undermine us. How will Corvo's sword stop a poisoned wine glass or an explosive delivered by courier? It will not. There are many threats around us, threats requiring meticulous efforts to police. Meticulous. Ugh. Young Lady Emily is undisciplined. I'm afraid. Here within Dunmore Tower, she receives instruction from the finest tutors known in the Isles, yet her mother spoils her, and she spends most of her time lost in imagination, wasting her time drawing or asking Corvo to teach her how to fight with wooden sticks. The girl might rule the Empire someday. Every moment spent at play is a moment wasted. Shoring up security for the main gate leading into Dunmore Tower has been another pet project of late. To think that back in the day, Emperor Calduin left it open to the public during the day, allowing anyone to come and go as they pleased. If it were up to me, I'd seal off access to the streets entirely, but the Empress won't hear of it. The waterlock is much easier to protect, and if it were the only way into the tower, traffic in and out would be greatly reduced. Someday the wrong person is going to slip in, and we'll suffer for it. Mark my words. No amount of security is excessive when it comes to protecting heads of state. The Empress also disapproves of my plan for the Sokolov devices. Sokolov himself has no interest in security, of course, but he's vain and therefore keen to see his inventions deployed. In any fashion, this wall of light he's been tinkering with has promise. In any case, at least I was able to convince the Empress to upgrade the pistols carried by the officers of the watch. Why do I worry so when no one else seems to care? If I ever fall asleep, will it all sink into the ocean? Will the rough things clamber over the walls and feel themselves on our flesh? This is what I see in the same dream several times each month. If only I had more say in things, more authority, I could protect us all. Perhaps I have been working too hard. Dinner and an evening of conversation with a certain lady of refinement might be in order. Perhaps somewhere nice in the estate district. Hiram Barrows, Royal Spymaster. Seriously, expert from Overseer's Covert Field Report. For over a year now I have lived away from the Abbey without the company of my Overseer brethren, or the guidance of the blind sisters of the Ocular Order. Days have passed with me sleeping in the dens of cut-purses, murderers and worse, and the nights have seen me prowling through the worst alleys and wretched corners of Dunwall. I have taken my meals with killers. At times I had ventured beyond the city walls, meeting in forgotten graveyards and outlying ruins frequented by those of ill means. My beard has grown long, and I wear the wretched clothing and bits of boiled leather favoured by the Bottle Street and Hatter gangs, and by those rough men and women who make their trade knifing others in return for coin. My hands have run red with blood. It's true, but I have selected my targets with care, choosing among those criminals and heretics who are not fit to live, executing them justly and using their deaths as a means of building my reputation. So far this trick has allowed me to make my name among my murderous colleagues without taking the lives of the innocent. My goal is singular. I must impress the assassin named Dowd in order to get close to him. Of all the practitioners of black magic we have tracked, none concern the Abbey as much as Dowd. It is said that his mother was a witch from one of the archipelagos off of the Pandician coast, taken captive by pirates venturing far from the Isles. According to the legend, by the time the ship returned, the captain was dead and the witch controlled the crew, with Dowd still a shadow in her belly. The earliest stories tell of a gang killer without mercy, moving among the shopkeepers and city watch officials of Dunwall like a reaper through wheat. Then a period of silence followed. Years. We now believe he spent travelling the Isles, studying autonomy and the occult in the great halls of learning and in hidden basements frequented by fellow dabblers in the forbidden arts. Dowd is even purported to have spent a winter in the Academy of Natural Philosophy itself, and for a time, before a schism developed, he counted the Bridgemore witches among his allies. All the while he honed his craft, and it is during this time that we believe he began to consort with the outsider. New reports emerged of a dusky-skinned assassin paid by the elite to eliminate their rivals in Dunwall and in the other major cities across the Isles. Those who saw him and lived numbered in the handful, but all of them reported something strange. He appeared and vanished like smoke. From a nearby rooftop he jested, and a noblewoman stumbled from a balcony, falling to her doom on the cobblestones below. Most recently, as this new threat of plague has risen in Dunwall, Dowd has been seen leading a gang of men in dark leather, dressed as factory whalers in their vapour masks. They seem loyal beyond comprehension for one so unworthy, leading me to wonder if some of his magic is dedicated to lulling their minds, enslaving them. Only a month ago, one young girl claims to have come upon a strange scene, carrying a bottle of milk home to her crippled brother. She was taking a shortcut through the tailor's district in a narrow street. She passed beneath a window and heard unusual sounds from within. Pushing aside the ratty curtain, the girl saw into the abandoned apartment used by miscreants for gambling and trading haberweed. An occult shrine had been erected against the far wall, which she recognized from the teachings given by her local overseer. A man she described as resembling Dowd was kneeling before the shrine, muttering to an unseen spirit as if in argument. He took a carving made of pale bone from the altar before him, and the lights all went out in a gush of unclean wind. Quiet as a field mouse, she slipped away, running until she reached her home. There can be no doubt. Dowd is an agent of the outsider and must die, for there is no limit to the evil this man might do. This is my solemn oath, and the great purpose of my life. Until Dowd is dead, and his corruption has been purged from the world, I will continue to move among the depraved, winding my way towards him. I will not drop my guise or don my overseer mask again until Dowd breathes no more. And yet, you write a book saying exactly what you're doing. Excerpt from a series of letters sent by a member of the Bottle Street gang. You want the chinwag on Slackjaw, what he was like when he was young, before he got his name? Oh, he's got a cool head now, but it weren't always like that. In the days before he was boss of the Bottle Street gang, time was young Slackjaw wasn't such a reasonable man. Like most of us, he grew up on the streets, running with a pack of ragamuffins and avoiding the law, pinching whatever he needed, dark-haired and dark-eyed, smoking a pipe by the age of 10. For them born into the brothels or coming from the orphanage, it was either the gangs or working with the mudlarks, and no one wants that. Some got pressed into the Navy or put down in the mines run by the Pendleton or Boyle families. As hard as it was on the streets, as hungry as we all got, at least we was free. By the time we weren't little uns anymore, Slackjaw was one to watch, usually calling the shots. When we took down a farmer's cart or sidewalk street vendor, he'd come up with the plan, give everyone some part to play, and decide on the split. Most of us just went along, because we learned fast that we made out better like that. More food, more coin, plus none of us wanted to deal with Slackjaw when he was in a rage. He worked on a couple of big jobs with Black Sally across town, and that was enough to get the attention of the other bosses. He wasn't just a street kid anymore. Now he was an up-and-comer, which meant trouble. Another guy who fancied himself as such was Mike the Fish, who was working his way up, running the protection racket among the factory women. One fine evening, we were all talking in a Bowdy show in the theatre house. Mike the Fish and his lot are there, in the cheap seats too, just down the aisle from us. Mike gets a wild idea. He wasn't big on planning, and throws a heavy ceramic spittoon at Slackjaw. Hits him square in the face and breaks his jaw. We look to see if there's gonna be a blood brawl, but Slackjaw just points at the door, and we all leave, with Mike laughing at our backs. Waking up the next day, without telling us why, Slackjaw motions for us all to follow. He still can't say a word, so we just come along. We stop at the docks, and Slackjaw pays coin for it, a heavy chain covered in hooks. It's for fishing in the deep, something you'd attach to a long line of the ship, a long line off the side of the ship. It's about 4 feet, made of thick links, and there are shark hooks coming off of it at different angles. Slackjaw's got that thing wrapped around his left arm, dangling at his side. Not sure how he knew where Mike the Fish was staying, but when we reach his girl's house, Slackjaw throws a bottle through the window just like that. It's almost noon. There's a bunch of screaming inside, and Mike pokes his head out, looking wide-eyed and baffled. When he sees Slackjaw out in the street, a look comes over his face that still gives me the willies. Pure murder. Mike comes out the side door, bellowing like a blood ox, holding a cleaver, headed straight for Slackjaw. When they come together in the street, Slackjaw spins, and the shark hooks bite deep into Mike's arm and shoulder. He screams, but Slackjaw holds onto the chain. He's standing there with his jaw broken, clenched tight, with the chain wrapped around his left arm, hooks sunk into Mike the fish, just knifing him as fast as he can. Mike couldn't fight very well, hooked like that, and using his left hand, but he was a big guy and it took a lot of stabbing before he went to his knees. Everyone was cheering at first, but then we all went quiet. It just kept going and going, until finally it was just Mike the fish blubbering, crying like a baby, and the sound of Slackjaw's knife. When it was over, and here's the brilliant part, Slackjaw took out a note and stuck to Mike's face with a nail. It just said, "If you want a job, come to Bottle Street." Slackjaw didn't talk right for a couple of months, but word spread fast. By the end of the year, once we had a sizable gang going, he sent out letters to the other bosses telling them that he was running a brand new crew over on Bottle Street. Most of them laughed or beat up the guys who delivered the letters. Green Eye Trish even came back missing a thumb, but apparently Slackjaw was expecting that kind of reaction and had a backup plan. A week later, 4 of the bosses were dead. Seemed like a series of unfortunate events, but everyone knew better. One shot dead by the watch while standing in the middle of a meat market, another slipping and falling into the water, out cold. One of the older bosses found in bed with his belly open wide and a Tyvian pear stuffed into his mouth. Still not sure what that meant. And Sheila Bransworth was found bubbling in a cauldron of hot wax. Slackjaw sent out another set of letters, offers to the underbosses, telling them they'd be treated fair as pears. He even sent Green Eye Trish with one of the letters. All of the underbosses accepted. After spilling the guts of main competition, Slackjaw went in for stabilising his business, real neat-like, calling in favours, smoothing things over, giving everyone a little bit of coin or drink as a bonus, showing what he could be like as a boss. So everything got quiet, which always makes the boys of the City Watch nervous, of course. Word went out among the Royal Spymaster's snitches, a responsible citizens group they called themselves, telling everyone working in a shop or sweeping off the front steps of their homes to keep watchful eyes for Slackjaw and his men, trying to suss out what they were up to and what had just happened. But Slackjaw ain't stupid. He greased a few palms among the shopkeepers and watch too, telling them that he was in town to stay and that things would be run properly from now on without so much blood. He was finally a real boss, ready to settle into the business of moving whiskey, running the hound fights, and offering up the ladies and gentlemen of the night, if you take my meaning. Then the plague came. At first it seemed like a good thing. A few people got sick and everyone wanted to buy those potions from Sokolov or Piero. Health elixir or spiritual remedy they call them. Slackjaw told me he saw an opportunity. We already had an old whiskey factory with a still where we could water the stuff down and sell it discounted. Doing the same with Sokolov's elixir was a smart plan. Pretty soon everybody in the slums was sick, business was good, but after a while there were so many people down with the plague that everyone got scared. Everybody started acting real nasty and everything fell apart. When people can't work, they don't have the coin for elixir, watered down or pure. When the Empress died, it seemed like Dunmore would slide into the void. Spymaster Barrows took over, and the watch started using all that new Sokolov technology. Watchtowers, toolboards, and the mark pylons. They put up a wall of light across the Clavering Boulevard and cracked down hard. But Slackjaw surprised us again. Instead of leaving town on a boat bound for Morley or one of the other isles, he stayed and kept it all together. We get as much elixir to fight off the plague as the City Watch with their taxes and rations, and that's kept us alive so far. Crowley, Bottle Street Gang. Long ass book. Excerpt from the Ramblings of a Street Denizen. Of course I'll tell you, dearie. I won't keep any secrets from you in the end. All the dreary days of my life are like the windows of a house. From the kitchen I can see out into the garden where the leaves and stalks are brown and bug-eaten. You can see a little lump of dirt where something was wrapped in a blanket and lay to rest among the rows of twisting vines. The front room looks out onto the street where the neighbours are setting fire to their homes, barricading themselves inside, warm and snug, dearie. Don't forget about the bedroom either. It sees into a dreary alley where hooligans are playing a game with an old man. The first two are hitting him with sticks, and the girl with them is kicking at his dry old ribs. Oh, to have those bones, to boil them in a pot. No one lives in my house anymore, dearie. No one you'd want to meet. When I lived there with my husband, we were fine, fine people. Very moray. Everyone would say, your house is as grand as Boyle Manor. Better even. Your dinners are lavish and your parties are the best. When that young Sokolov came to paint my portrait, I was nearly still in my prime. Radiant, he said, and he was just barely a man, so young, painting all the best people across the land. Everyone wanted a portrait by his hand. All my friends. I was the only one, dearie, wet with his paint, glistening on a canvas for a pretty coin. But it wasn't all parties and paintings. My husband and I weren't always at home. No, we travelled together, he and I, to the far ends of the Isles, beyond even, all the way to the red cliffs of Pandisia, to dig in the rock and crawl through the caves, holding up candles and squinting at the walls. Many precious things we came upon, but none so precious as the boy with the black eyes, dearie. All those marks and bones, carved so deep and polished so bright. I brought the old bones home, hid them from my dear husband. Then I learned to boil them and carve them myself. They made such good presents, dearie. The little mute boy took them home. He loved them so. All the time he came back with new bones for me, holding them up so I could see it in his eyes, even though his tongue was still. Granny, his eyes would say to me, carve these bones for me, make me another present. And he went so far, all the way to Dunmore Tower, the royal headsman himself now, my little mute boy and his shiny, shiny sword. Better bones were what I needed, you see. Better bones to carve and polish, scrape and gleam. My dear old husband was always tired. I made him soup, and then he was sick. Better bones was all. For my little mute boy, carved in the name of the one with black eyes. And after my husband was gone, given away as birthday gifts. I didn't want to live there anymore. So now I'm old and don't have many to give my presents to. It's sifting through the garbage for granny rags and feeding the little birdies that gather at my feet. No one wants to have tea, dearie, especially those rude louts on Bottle Street, Slackjaw and his boys, always meddling with an old woman just trying to make her way. In the end, we'll be together with him, you and me in the dreary, dreary night with stars above and below. And always the one with the black eyes, dearie.
Attention Dunwall citizens. River traffic is forbidden from landing at the distillery.
Are you?
Will be taken to the flooded district.
Whatever. No goddamn idea what all those things are there anyway. Meh. Probably just because this is the version it is. Right. I think I forgot about that.
Elementary sums. History of the Isles. Geography of the Isles. The Seven Strictures. Litany of the White Cliff. Sayings of the Overseer. One day we'll get a few new books.
Well, let's get down to it. First off, I know that assassination is dark business, but sometimes good men have to do bad things to make the world right. Our purpose is clear. We want to restore Her Majesty's line by finding and putting Emily Kaldwin on the throne. To those ends, we'll hide, act in shadow, take them apart, piece by piece. Tonight, High Overseer Campbell dies by your hand. It won't be easy. He's protected by his overseers, an army of religious zealots. But if anyone can do it, you can. Your exploits are legendary. Campbell carries a private journal. Once you've eliminated him, get the journal, because we think it contains Emily's location. Recovering her is obviously critical, assuming she's alive. That's the gist of it. Remember our cause, and strike true. We're counting on you. Another thing. Campbell is holding a former overseer by the name of Martin. He's one of us, and if you manage to find him, give him whatever help you can. He's a master strategist, and he got caught working for our cause. It'd be good to have him back here at the How Pits.
Okie doke.
Oh, Corvo? If you've a moment. Corvo. Hello. I'm Callista. I work here for Admiral Havelock. I'm sorry to intrude on your business, but this is important. I suspect you're going to kill the High Overseer. That wretched man. There's really no reason for you to listen to me. But my uncle, Jeff Kernow, still serves as captain in the City Watch. But he's a good man, and my only family. The chatter in servant circles is that Campbell just took delivery of an exotic poison. And I think I know why. My uncle's not corruptible like the rest of them. Campbell is going to poison my uncle. Do you think you could protect him? You used to do that, right? Before you had your current profession. Before you became an assassin.
Just wondering, sir, if you thought about perhaps seeing Piero before venturing into the Overseer's nest. I'd recommend going with the best gear you can get together.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Ready to go? Just give the signal.
High Overseer Campbell leads the city's militant religious faction and is a close ally to the Lord Regent. Campbell is completely corrupt and holds the secret to Emily's location. Infiltrate the office of the High Overseer, steal Campbell's journal and eliminate him. An ally to the Loyalists. Martin is being held there. Free him and allow him to escape.
It'll be a rough trip. Used to be to go straight up Clavering Boulevard, but now it's not so easy. Half the city's dead of the plague. The other half's fighting over what's left. City Watch still holds the bigger streets, and they've set up those wall of light checkpoints. A man walks through one of those, and he ends up burned to a crisp. Everything not controlled by the City Watch is gang territory. And there are the real odd birds living on the fringes, like that Granny Rags. They say she's nuts. Don't know which is worse. Just take your pick.
City's dead.
But easy, damn it.
Make
Keep him
it
in the
3
boat.
more months.
Canal's got enough shit in it as it is. Good. Keep him coming. Hey! What is it?
I think that last one was moving.
What?
Yeah, the little one.
Not possible. I inspected them myself. Keep working.
Well, he ain't moving no more.
Eh.
One, two, three, heave!
Attention, Dunwall citizens. Report all deceased family members to the local dead counter.
Plague.
Unreported deaths are a punishable offense.
best not to be seen, so...
Granny, 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 come out with me instead. Granny, 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 you can't because you're dead.
That's not what we heard.
It was just a cold.
Are you sure? Because you know we have to check you over. And there's an inspection fee. Oh, you don't want to talk to us like that.
Fact is, Bottle Street is going to take its cut. So reach into your pockets and let's get this done.
Yeah, and the inspection fee. We can't help it. Just the way we do things on Bottle Street.
Eighth entry. It's the 4th day of the month of rain. Morris is sick and so are the children. I avoided it this far, which is good fortune, since it has fallen on me to care for them. 9th entry. The city watch comes and goes, knocking on doors and asking for signs of plague. Even our neighbours cannot be trusted. Earlier, it was difficult to keep the children quiet. Now they sleep most of the time. 10th entry. The flies have set in. I try to keep them away, but I can barely get close. They sting so, most of the time. Morris won't answer me when I try to talk to him from across the room. 11th entry. Morris is gone. I don't know what I'll do for now. All my hope is reserved for the children. Leaving the flat for a while near dawn, I found some plague bags from a guard booth. While no one was around, it took a while, but I got Morris into one of the bags. At least his face is covered. 12th entry. Young Robert has passed. The star of my sky is gone. Missing page. 17th entry. Elise stopped breathing in the middle of the night. She was such a headstrong girl. I can hardly believe she was overcome. She was always near as I cut up hagfish or vegetables, arguing with me about everything. 18th entry. It is the 4th day of the month of wind. It has settled in that they are lost to me. All of them. I cannot bring myself to call the dead counter. 19th entry. I have the fever now. No guards come near anymore. Excerpt from a set of cautionary tales for children. They say that Jimmy Whitcomb Riley was a brawler his mates called Smiley. He ran around up and down town, pulling off every kind of crimey. On Bottle Street he hung with the boys, throwing bricks and balls and other toys. They'd start a fight, then run and hide, breaking, laughing far and wide. Smiley liked to eat and drink all day, and smash and bash the night away. Drunk and all alone, he drifted off asleep, sitting on the bridge along John Carving. When he woke, something strange he found, stranger than a singing wolfhound. He became a blue-jawed hagfish, most slimy, and only remembered his name was Smiley. They say that Jimmy Whitcomb Riley was never seen again for all of timey, but he swam around up and down, drinking from the river, crying, "Why me?"
Tired yet? Another night, another patrol with you.
Where is the thing? There it is. Gosh, should I do all the optional stuff though? Oi.
No, stupid goddamn.
Yes, I think the little birdies are sad today. If I was a birdie, I'd want to be that. Yes, I would. I told you the knives go on the left. They've always gone on the left. You never listen. Dear? Is that you, my dear husband? My eyes aren't what they used to be. Have you seen my little birdies? The dear things must be starving without their granny. Here, birdies. Here. Oh, my. I think I have gentlemen callers again, but not the way I used to, not the nice ones. I hear them, and they're not very polite ones either. Granny Rags, let us in. Ah, well, they'll go away again if they know what's good for them. But what a bother. Here's the key to the front door, love. You'll see to those ruffians, won't you? Granny, come out with me instead. Granny, you can't because you're dead.
Let us in, Granny.
I bet she can't even hear us.
She's blind, not deaf. We're here to do your washing.
She's not stupid either.
Have it your way. We're here to take your money, Granny.
We're wasting our time. How much could she have? She digs in trash for a living. Let's get a drink. I'm dry as an overseer's prick.
She's been digging for 80 years. Must have found something. Hear that, Granny? Whatever you got, Slackjaw gets a cut. Nothing personal. Just Bottle Street rules. Let us in. Rinse too, Granny.
I don't think I can stealth this. Oh, only really one way to know.
Let us in. Open the damn door. Let us in. Rinse too, Granny.
The city's dead.
Let us in.
Maybe 3 more months.
What? Come on.
I'm meant to turn around. I need someone to hide the bodies anyway.
Open up. Let us in. Open up.
All these rats crawling all over everything. How did it pass me by? All the others. Down.
I don't know if that counts as scene or not. It's really annoying. idea.
Open up! Let us in! All these rats crawling all over everything. Rinse due, Granny! Let us in! Open the damn door! Let us in!
Half the city's dead. Won't make it 3 more months.
Open up!
I hear the Watch will be rounding people up again next week. Please, don't bother me.
Open the damn door!
Huh?
Why do you turn around? You're not meant to. Freaking thing. Seriously not do this without being seen. Stupid.
Rinse due, Granny!
Oh, fine. That's the way you want to do that? Fine. Just won't do the quest. Figure out how to open the menu.
Let us in!
Nope.
Cold as a whaler's gaff hand. 50 years old at least. This guy.
Work for the Empress. Forget his old ass.
I can't even remember the Empress. We tagged it.
Wait. Under Clavering Street is ours.
Weren't meant to. Cannot be having any scene. Not even slightly alerted. It's not allowed. I have to be completely ghosted.
Street is ours.
What? For the love of... Sure game. Autosave after I've been seen. Perfect. Ugh, that's way back. Yeah, thinking about it, I could probably just use the sleeping darts to take them out. Oh well. Probably most annoyingly, I'm going to be seen like 10 times during all this, which I don't want.
old as a whaler's gaff hand. 50 years old, at least. This guy fucking...
Forget his old ass.
I can't even remember the Empress. We tagged it plain. Under Clavering Street as ours. Come on. What's the take?
20, plus 2 elixir.
Look like 25 to me.
Look here. It's 20. It's 5 each, counting Boo.
You want me to
Check your pockets?
Let it go, kid.
Don't call me kid. You think you can cheat me?
Right. Didn't actually mean to, go out of crouching, but whatever. And,
Hello. I hear the second day is when the skin really starts to come all the way off. Is that true? Or is it the itching that really gets you? Or the rats?
Jasper, isn't it? It's not so bad in here, except I miss your wife.
Huh. You don't scare easy, I'll give you that. That'll change.
It's me, Overseer Martin.
I told the Admiral.
What a sight you are in that mask. I know who you are and what you're here to do, and I can help. Unlock me and I'll buy you a drink in a couple of days. By the void, I'll buy you 100 drinks. Feels good to stand up straight. Thank you, Corvo. What you're here to do tonight is of the highest importance. We've got to find Emily. So kill Campbell, and make it quick. Once it's done, search his body for the journal, his notorious black book, and get out of there. Campbell is meeting with a guard named Kerr now, and word from my informant is that Campbell is going to poison him. Maybe you can use that to your advantage. All right, I won't be of any help here, so I'll make my own way back to the Hound Pits pub. If I see Samuel the boatman, I'll tell him to pick you up in the backyard, behind the office of the High Overseer. May all the spirits guide you, and may our enemy's head hit the floor without you taking a scratch.
I was just reading in the archive about the Heretic's brand. It sounds painful. Have you ever seen the ritual?
I've never seen the Heretic's brand used. No, it's a rare occurrence. But I did spy the face of one so branded. A former member of our order. Out on a retreat, we passed through a fishing town and saw him begging.
What were his crimes?
Perfect.
Who can say? The brand is reserved for an overseer, or even the High Overseer himself, who violates our codes and must be cast out permanently. Remember the 7 strictures, and you never need worry about such matters.
I will.
Indeed, I believe so.
How can I save that guy?
Did you get caught in the lockdown last night?
6 hours. Searched the place top to bottom. And nothing to eat but the swill we hand out free. Of course we didn't find it.
Did I ever tell you? One time one of the second floor shutters got stuck open, and I thought I could slip out. I couldn't find a way down. By the time I got back, it had snapped shut. I spent the rest of lockdown out on a ledge.
Maybe the outsider was watching. What was that? I need more.
That's fine. I shall not be seen. My work shall not be discovered.
6 hours. Search the place top to bottom, and nothing to eat but the swill we hand out free. Of course we didn't find anything.
Did I ever tell you, one time one of the second floor shutters got stuck open, and I thought I could slip out? I couldn't find a way down. By the time I got back, it had snapped shut. I spent the rest of lockdown out on a ledge.
Maybe the outsider was watching.
That's fine. They're like that, they're fine. Heretic brand is reserved for those overseers who have committed heinous acts against the Order, but have not broken the codes that would otherwise result in execution. No contact, aid, or shelter can be given to one bearing the brand. That person is forevermore unwelcome to the Abbey and its affiliates. When used, the brand is applied to the forehead, so all can see the sins of the recipient. The chemical compound acts immediately, scarring the heretic for all the remainder of life. The interrogation room here at the office of the High Overseer stands ready for branding ritual should the need arise. The recipient must be strapped to the interrogation chair and restrained as the brand is applied. The heretic brand itself is to be stored in the same room.
What we have is a man, aged 30 perhaps, slender, unusual tattooing on the face and chest, probably superstitious heresy, wearing some sort of industrial mask when we brought him in, stolen out of one of the whaling factories from the look of it. You're one of Dowd's men, aren't you? Caught at last? Give us a name at least. What's wrong with his eyes? Opium? Laudanum? Are you with us? What's he doing? Some kind of fit? He's gone. Here it is, a pin, hidden in one of his gloves. Subject has administered some kind of poison. The effects seem to have been lethal.
Someone's always making noise when I don't want them to. Anyway. Excerpt from an Overseer's findings by High Overseer Tyrone Wallace. Spending 2 years in the Spending 2 years in the company of heretics, the insane, and those rare black-hearted villains who were truly practitioners of magic, I can say with truth that I have seen such things as to break the minds of most. While the trials and burnings weigh heavily upon my heart, I must chronicle what has been a unique opportunity to witness the multifarious perversions that the outsider bestows upon those who seek his black counsel. Many of those we face are accused of bewitching their neighbours or family, controlling them from afar, or even walking around in their skins, and I have seen this with my own eyes, as one woman slid into the form of another, prowling unseen until a valiant overseer struck down both the witch and her host. Others detained herein were found to stand in two places, seemingly at once, or to vanish from one place and appear in another. Our work was dire, we knew, for if the followers of the outsider can truly inhabit the skin of another, or move from place to place like the wind, then how can we hope to erect walls to keep him out? It was these trials that first led us to investigate barriers beyond the physical. I've just got to make sure he survives. Glad walking past them doesn't knock them off.
having trouble holding the side streets.
Bunch of children playing games, that's all.
Good, good. And your niece, Callista, isn't it? I'm very concerned about her.
She'll be found. My men are searching district by district.
The poor girl.
Callista's a resourceful one. Probably found a safe place to hold up in all this chaos.
If my overseers hear any word, I'll come straight to you. Time for drinks. I hope you won't refuse. It'll make this business pass all the quicker. Doc, one of the servants must have been in here. Let me see. It seems I have the wrong one. Not that one. No. Ah, here we are. Now if you'll join me. Men will come get you when we're finished. Keep each other entertained in the meantime.
I don't understand how this got so unpleasant.
Oh, I agree, I agree. A whore dies and suddenly this. Will you have wine? It's a Tivian red.
Thank you.
What a... Who's been in here? I owe you an apology, Captain. This is hardly the hospitality I planned for you. Well, time to do this the hard way.
What was that, Campbell?
Never mind. It's a stroke of luck for you, Captain. I'm forced to break out the real vintage. Leave the men here. But we'll have to share with all of them.
Very well, Campbell. As long as we get this little dispute settled.
You see this painting? Believed to be early Sokolov. Something primal in there. The way the brushwork slashes across the canvas.
If you say so, Campbell. You have my thanks. Though by all rights, I should probably arrest you. You seem familiar, even with that mask on. No matter. This once I'll just go my own way. You yours.
Campbell, I'm not sure how my predecessor operated, but from now on, if one of my girls tries to blackmail you, you send her back to me at the Golden Cat instead of concocting some plan on your own. I've had to replace 3 girls in as many months, and you can imagine the business of carnal pleasure isn't booming in this plague-stricken hole you call a city, Madam Prudence.
curse those fools at Coldridge for letting Corvo get away. Who knows what the man could do now? Hiram, or the Lord Regent, as he asks us to call him now, seems to have faith in all the Sokolov security devices he's put up all over the city, but I'm not so sure. At least the girl has been moved to a safe place. Visiting her twice a week has given me ample opportunity to inspect the facilities, as they say. So there's an upside, at least.
Already had that. Eat brand new. Now I just need to get out of here without causing a commotion. Significantly easier said than done. For things like that.
It is written that the great man conversed with... It is not always wrong to do so. I myself benefited by many a chastisement in my youth. Many indeed, and not lacking in
A, I don't know how that happened. B, I don't know how that happened. C, I didn't execute him. I wasn't even aiming at him. How could he have died? Oi!
It is written that the great man conversed with the outsider in dreams. So it is true that he may walk there. Always wrong to do so. I myself benefited by many a chastisement. Many
believe that worked. Most of the guards over here. They shouldn't be a problem. This is going okay.
Think you'll get your own squad after what happened last night? Indeed, I believe so.
Surprisingly going well. Wonder how I messed it up.
Please, she's my sister. She's not a witch. I know her.
Out of the way. You expect preferential treatment just because you are her brother? She will burn. All witches must burn.
Bertold, don't let them take me! I swear I've done nothing wrong!
Silence your lying tongue, foul witch.
Guards,
to me!
Bertold!
Someone get over here!
Bertold! Swear I've done nothing wrong!
Silence your lying tongue, foul witch.
Someone get over here! You're going down!
Ah, you mean I can't? Oh, for the love of... Fine.
Swear I've done nothing wrong!
Silence your lying tongue, foul witch.
Guards, to me!
Take this!
Bertold!
Your spirit is failed!
Bertold! No, not dead.
Come on, bleed!
Wonder if I'm fast enough I could...
Please, she's my sister. She's not a witch. I know her.
Out of the way. You expect preferential treatment just because you are her brother? She will burn. All witches. Damn! Take this!
You appeared as if from nowhere. We would both be dead if not for you.
We are forever in your debt. I cannot thank you enough.
I must get my sister to safety. But first, I may know of a way to thank you. There's a safe in the bunkhouse. The combination is 203. Take what you want, and good luck.
Right. I hope that ain't caused an issue. Where is the bunkhouse, though? It's not worth alerting every guard.
Is that you?
Here's hoping.
Hey, Corvo. It's Samuel. I'm here. From the way I hear it, Campbell lived a pretty posh life. Maybe it's not my place to say, but men of the faith shouldn't live like barons. Are you ready to go?
Sure.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, poop. I want that ghost though. If I could actually get it with the way I play. Anyway, stop here for now. No wind, room's getting overly hot, and it's a pain for me. So, that'll be all for now. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. Saturday, so I can't tell.